everyone, this is Therese Wang. Today in this video, I want to talk about practice. So it's very important for anyone who spend time practicing to have a strategy, a plan. Now, I never go to piano practice without knowing what I'm doing, right? I always have a plan. Sometimes more solid plan, like step by step, or like, a lot of detail. Sometimes, more abstract, but I have a plan. I have a goal, right? That's the end result of the practice. Well, of course, it's to get better, but just saying it's better is very vague, right? So today I want to talk about how to plan your practice. What are the criteria of sounding better, by the end of a practice week. So the first thing is like, how do we know we are better, right, by the end of the week? There are a few criteria you can start, having in your practice, right? So when we say, oh, you sound better, what does that mean, right? Of course, the first thing comes to mind, okay, playing the right key, right? Okay, I'm playing D, the B, A. Okay, I'm playing the right key, because that's not the right note. The right note is the pitch, which is okay, the F, or the C, whatever. That's the pitch. But the second half of playing the right note is the rhythm, right? How long or short the note is. So that two components combined is playing the right note to me. So the pitch, right? Playing the right key and with the right length, duration of the note. So that's very important. So that's the first thing. Okay. The second thing would be the fluency. Actually, fluency is the biggest thing, right? Especially for beginners, because they just worry about, okay, playing the A, playing the C, but the timing is wrong, right? So the fluency, right? So fluency, okay, so not too much hiccup, right? That would be the first start. So when you have a song, let's say the beginner book, you have like the first book. Let's say like 0, okay? We plan it so that you have 4 lines, right? You have 4 lines, so you can practice one line. You never practice the whole song, right? Unless you know the song really well, you want to play from the beginning to end, then yes. You can start with just playing one time through and then see where you're at, right? And then you can start working through it. Practice is very different from playing it. Okay, work on one line. Okay, I'm gonna work on right hand 3 times, right? In the book, it's actually, I already have the plan, how much time you're gonna practice, what you're gonna do. These are, of course, suggested, because after a while, you don't have to play 5 times if you already know the line really well, So 3 times right hand, 3 times left hand, and then hands together 3 times, right? And then you can go to the second line, the same thing. And then you can play through 2 lines, right? So you can play through smoothly. Then maybe that's it, right, for the day. If you more time, you go to the 3rd line, right hand, left hand together, right hand, left hand together, 4th line, and then play through the second half together. And then you can play through the whole song, right? So that's the plan. That's after, okay, the keys, right? The pitch and the rhythm, okay, pretty good, and you try to play through it. Don't try to go for the speed, okay? That's later. So have the right pitch and rhythm first thing. So that's the right note. Second thing is the fluency, okay? You can play through without much hiccup, right? No pauses, not long pauses, right? Try to play through pretty smoothly. Usually when I practice, I'll try to play through, okay, 10 times. Out of 10 times, I need to be able to play through it at least 8, 9 times, really perfect, right? So that's my goal. You can start with just 5 times with the kids, I was like, okay, let's see if we can play through it 5 times. Try to play through it. It doesn't have to be consecutively 5 times correct, but maybe 5 times, correct. I mean, for me, I will go for consecutive, but the kids to start with something smaller goal, right? Don't go for oh, I have to play okay, miss 1. No, of course, that would be great. But in the beginning, always, okay, 3 times, 5 times, that's perfect for beginners, especially young kids. And then you're gonna move into the 3rd thing. If there is any of those, right now the beginners probably don't have that much of those. So going to the articulation, right? The staccato, slur, those are very important. So add those back first if you don't have it already. And then you can work on the dynamics. So they're, you know, around the same level, but if you want to pick one thing, it would be articulation first, and then go to the dynamics, right? The forte, the piano, right? The crescendo, even the accents and things like that. So that will be, you know, the fourth level. And then you can go for the speed, the tempo, number 5. See, these are the things before the speed, because you can't play fluently. Don't even think about playing fast. In fact, you want to play slower, but in the right the relative the speed with the rhythm, right? So slower rhythm, right, in the slower tempo, right? Faster rhythm in the faster tempo, you know, things like that. So then after the tempo, if there's any, right, you know, for more intermediate, the expression of the music, right? So these are the things, you know, are more complicated. That's after all these things that we will talk about. Of course, after a while, you know, you've been playing a while, then these are the things kind of like happening at the same time. But you know, these are the things that if you don't know where you're going to start, so start with these steps. Now, planning the practice is very important. What does that mean? If you have like 30 minutes a day, what do you do with practice? Again, not playing through the song over and over again would be a, you know, good start. So let's say you have a couple songs, right, to practice. So 5 minutes with the warm up, like technical exercises, scales, arpeggios, if there are any assigned. And then you can go to this first song, right? The first song might be the song you've been playing for a little bit, so shorter time for that, maybe 10 minutes. And then another song for 15 minutes, right? Of course, you know, when your song gets longer, you know, you're more advanced, so, you know, longer practice. So how do I know I get better, right? Again, like judging from the criteria we have, okay, have my fluency improved, you know, the tempos faster, you know, closer to what I want. These are the things that you want to look for, right? And then it would be helpful to start like recording yourself or recording your kids. Oh, it's Monday, I sound like this, or your kids sound like this. Or by the end of the week, I sound like this, right? So you can compare, oh, did I play faster? Because that's my goal, right? You have to set a goal. Okay, this week I'm going to work on the speed, mostly. Or this week I'm working on the fluency. You know, at the beginning, it's always fluency, right? So, oh, okay, so have I done a better job, right? So that will be, you know, good to have, you know, like the audio comparison. Then we have the audio already recorded. I record all these songs, so you can listen and compare yourself to the recording. Okay, do I sound closer to this example? You know, so that will help. And also, you know, of course, coming to a lesson, then I can tell you, oh, hey, that's better. But it's good to know yourself that, hey, I have done better, or I have done not so great, you know, and then you know, modify your practice strategy.